Hi, I'm Hannah.
I'm Ian. We've been living in our bus since December of 2018.
We got the bus in November of 2016. So it took us about 2 years to build it. It's a 1991 International Bluebird.
The engine's a DT466 Allison 545 transmission, and I think that's all I know about it.
So this is our kitchen. We have butcher block countertops and backsplash. We have a farmhouse style sink with this faucet that comes out so we can swing it to the outside if we ever want to do an outdoor shower. And then we have this stove which runs on propane and oven as well.
The TV is mounted on a swivel mount. We have storage all throughout the front area. Here we keep all our emergency stuff, camping stuff, batteries. Right here, more cleaning supplies, personal items, pharmacy. And then
it's my little makeup station, so I have all my makeup stuff up there, and then I open up all the windows so I can get the best lighting when I do my makeup. When we were traveling this summer, we would always stop into like the local thrift store or Goodwill, find some cool pieces. And a lot of people ask us about like how we drive with this, and it's actually really simple because we just take them down and we put them here and it pretty much stays. I mean, I keep an eye on it, but sometimes if we're in the mountains, I'll put it in the sink. But otherwise, we don't really have any issues with things like falling or sliding. People always ask us like, do those knives fall down when you drive? No. I mean, we've never had any issues with that.
the cabinets, they're huge. They have, all of them have these slide out drawers. Our water heaters in there. That's our garbage can and Instant Pot. Here we have all other like appliances. We have an air fryer, we have a zoodle maker, we have coffee maker, bullet. And then on this one, we have all our plates and cups on the top drawer. And then all the snacks on the bottom drawer. So the pantry is where we keep all our spices and stuff. I made sure to make each shelf, tall enough to fit even the biggest of containers. We use bungee cords to fit as much stuff in there as we can.
When we're traveling, we don't obviously have as much food with us, but right now, since we're stationary and he's working here, we've noticed that we've had an abundance of groceries and Costco trips, which is kind of difficult in a tiny house because buying in bulk and then having a small fridge isn't always the best.
Speaking of the fridge, here it is. It's a Dometic. We got it secondhand. It works great. We love it. We've stuffed it to the brim and it keeps everything frozen and cold, and it keeps temperature. A huge pot for when we want to make soup and stuff. We have a steamer right here. We have all sorts of different, pots and pans and stuff, and we use them all the time. We've always enjoyed doing road trips ever since we started dating. I mean, we were 3 months into dating when we did our first cross-country road trip in my Jetta.
Our relationship has just kind of been built around traveling, whether it's by car or plane or, whatever. We've always loved to travel, and then we lived in a 1,000 square foot townhome. And we were paying rent every month, and he was working so much that I never saw him, but we wanted to travel, and so it just wasn't adding up to us. So when the lease was up, we don't really remember who came up with the idea, but we just kind of landed on first an A-frame trailer, and then we thought a little bit more long-term. We knew that we wanted to get married and start a family in the future. And then the bus just kind of happened. And then after we had the idea of the bus, I think it was like 2 weeks later, the United Tiny House festival was in St. Augustine. So we went to check it out because we heard there was going to be buses there. And then
There were the whole 6 buses.
Yeah, there was 6 buses there. And 2 weeks later, we ended up getting our bus off of Craigslist.
The couch, it slides out pretty much all the way to the cabinets, and these cushions, it's it's double stacked, so you can just put it side by side, make a huge bed. These drawers go all the way to the back of the couch, so it's plenty of storage for Nora's toys and clothes and all that stuff. There you go. And then from the couch is the kitchen table, which we eat our dinner at. Where it's still kind of a work in progress. It was supposed to be a swing out, but we haven't really figured out a leg that we're satisfied with yet, and we've just kind of put it in the back burner for now.
Yeah, it was more for like game nights and stuff, but we've noticed that like the outside area has become our hangout. The curtains, I actually made all of them. The ones in the front of the bus are blackout curtains, and then these are just decorative. When we're driving, this is where Nora sits, and there's actually a seat belt back here, so we buckle her car seat in and then just pop this off, open the window, and it's a pretty nice ride for us. I'm the type of person that holds on to sentimental value, so I had to learn to let go of a lot of things that I was keeping for no particular reason because I got it on a trip when I was 8 and so I started taking pictures of things that were meaningful and then donating them. So I think even though we didn't spend the full 2 years building the bus, we needed those 2 years to downsize and really get in the mindset of living with less. Here we have the shower.
To keep it in place while we drive, we have these little hooks that hook into the door, and that way it avoids it sliding in, back and forth or sliding out like that.
I was about 25 weeks pregnant, and my mom and I spent 8 days doing all of the tiling and grouting and sealing. And then the walls that you make in the bus are definitely not even. So we had to hold each of the big squares up with like paint sticks and 2x4s, and it was very interesting. But we're really happy with the outcome. We have the emergency exit window in there as well, and our shower head comes off so we can do another outdoor shower in there. The wheel well is under there, and so we had to come up with something to go over it. So we put the bench there, and it's just like a little shelf for our shower products and seat if we want to sit down and take a shower.
We have 55 gallons of fresh water and 55 gallons of gray water. We decided to go with regular 55-gallon barrels underneath the bus just because it was the cheapest option, and we really didn't have time to check for secondhand options as far as tanks go. But we're looking to upgrade at some point to about 150 gallons. Here we have our toilet room. We decided to build it separately from the shower, just because we figured, if somebody's showering and, you need to do your business, then you would be able to. We use a Nature's Head composting toilet. It works great, I have no complaints about it.
And then the curtain in there I also made as well.
The table, her mom actually found it in a garage sale, right? Years and years ago, and she was like, hey, this might fit, and then it was perfect. So we use an app called Boondockers Welcome. It's $30 a year for the membership, and it's pretty much staying in people's properties, their driveways, their farms, their acreage, whatever it may be. And every person, like since it's like their property, they have like their own terms and they offer different amenities and stuff. So you just kind of filter out what you're looking for. If you're looking for power, for water, for internet, whatever. Some of them may charge, some of them may not. So you just kind of filter out whatever you want. We used that all through the summer. We didn't have to pay once for staying anywhere.
And it was cool because you meet people that are local, so they can tell you like the local thing to do and not like the touristy things that cost a lot. And like 90% of the time they would invite us in for dinner and we'd hang out, and we'd actually end up staying like a day or two more just because we had connected with these hosts. And the way that the website works is since we buy the membership and then they get credits for hosting, and all of the hosts have RVs or travel vehicles, so they get credits for hosting you. So it's kind of like a win-win, and they can travel in their RVs.
Yeah, they're all into traveling, so they understand.
Yeah.
Some people had us saying like, hey, if you want to use our shower, or if you want to come inside because it's hot or whatever,
Yeah.
And this one day we just hung out in this guy's basement because
it was so
it was
hot.
like 60 degrees in it, and it was like 110 outside. It was so hot.
As the floor plans progressed, I had told Ian that I really wanted a nursery, and I wanted something that I can design and make special for our future baby, because we had no issues going tiny or anything, but I knew that I was going to want that, being a first-time mom, that space. So it just so happened that this mini crib fit perfectly over this platform that we built over the wheel well. She hangs out in it, she plays in her crib. And then on this side, this is where we're actually going to build our second nursery. Right now we have a closet in here, but we are going to be taking this out completely and unblocking the windows, and then building not as big of a space as this one, but we will be making some sort of baby room. Mm-hmm. And then we already have plans for when the baby outgrows that space, then transitioning him over here and building a trundle style bed for her. So we do have room to grow in this bus, which is great. We kind of decided that we can have 3, maybe 4 kids fit in this bus if we really renovate it good. But then after this bus, we're kind of going with the flow, but we know that we want to continue living tiny, whether it's a shipping container on land or a 40-foot bus. We like the whole concept of living with less, saving money, just kind of become us. And even though we want a big family, we know a lot of people that have buses and tiny homes that have big families. So they're showing us that it's possible.
Yep.
So this is our bedroom. It's pretty simple. We have a queen size bed, and we have another 32-inch TV, and it's on a swivel as well. And then we just recently put those overhead shelves in, so we'll be putting all of our clothing in them. We actually just put those in yesterday. So we will transfer everything in there and kind of decorate it as we redo the closet space.
The mini split is 18,000 BTU, which is way overkill. I've seen that 12,000 BTU is definitely more than enough for a bus. Living in Florida, we definitely didn't want to have, hot summers, or at least less hot summers. So I kind of wanted to go with the overkill. And it keeps the space, really great, really cold in the summer and really warm in the winter. On the top, we have our solar panels. We have 8 300-watt solar panels. The people at Splendor Oaks actually helped us mount it. That's Curtis's design and everything. So he was the one who actually came up with the idea of using the Unistrut to mount them up there. The panels are wired up to the trunk with the inverter and the charge controller and the batteries. The tanks aren't really all mounted because we're stationary for a few months while I'm working. But we just use regular, grill tanks, and we mount them up we have a piece of Unistrut with some hooks on it. So we just mount it up there, and then hook it in. We have some ratchet straps to keep them from wobbling and everything. And then we have it's a valve that automatically switches from one tank to the other. So we can store up to 4 tanks, and 1 tank lasts us about 2 months. So we have plenty and plenty of propane.
I'm a seamstress, so I have 2 Etsy shops. They're etsy.com/shop/Hanzian designs. So it's like our bus, Hanzian, but then designs. And that shop in particular is where I just kind of put up some stuff that I make for fun, whether it's custom baby clothes or t-shirts. We have a line of bus and van themed shirts that we make, and we always take custom orders and we sell them at festivals too. And then I have another store, it's etsy.com/shop/totallyhandsmade, and that one is more of CrossFit stuff, so like workout apparel, weightlifting wrist straps. And then I also do a lot of custom orders, like I said, so I have an embroidery machine, custom shirts, custom apparel. So that's how I do things from the road. And then for you,
I've just gotten a solar installer job with a company called Sunrun, and right now it's very, very stationary. I have to meet up at a shop, and I get in a truck and they drive me to wherever the job site is. So I really can't travel while we're doing that. But I'm looking for positions within the company that allow travel or even require travel. So.
Or even doing custom
or,
solar.
Yeah, or even going independent and just doing custom jobs or whatever. The options are open. Yeah, we're also coming out with Patreon, so whoever wants to support us on our travels can. We're coming out with that pretty soon, so stay tuned for that.
Otherwise, we have the Etsy shop linked on our Instagram, and we also post a lot about our day-to-day lives and our travels and just updates on the bus. So you can find us on Instagram at Hanzian Bus. It's HANZIAN_bus. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for stopping by our home and listening to our story.
Like, share, subscribe.